俺が行って落ち着くから帰ってきたくなるって言ってくれたじゃん。それは俺も本当にあって、俺は梨紗子がいるから帰ってきたいと思ってる。結構1秒でも早く。なんか梨紗子と一緒にいたいと思ってる。
あんまりこっち見ないで。
シンプルに言うと、前は梨紗子のこと気になるって言ってたけど、今はかなり好き。
Kiss her! Just kiss her, please.
早すぎるよ。
いや、遅すぎるよ。好きなのに、なんで何もしないの？
じゃあイギリスではもっと早いの？
イギリスだったら、初デートでキスするよ。
マジで？初めて会った人でも？That's... Hi 皆さんこんにちは。Welcome back to my channel.
Hey!
And today we have a special guest. Papa Teach English のアリさんです。Yay!
Hey!
Today, so he's from England. And today we are talking about the cultural difference between England and Japan, but about dating.
It's so confusing.
アーリーと私はいつもテラスハウスの話をよくするんですよ。イギリスの恋愛と日本の恋愛は全然違うから、いつもアーリーから質問されるんですよね。だから今日はアーリーからの日本の恋愛の質問に答えたいと思います。
I think he's asking a wrong person though.
そしてイギリスと日本の恋愛の違いも話したいと思います。Okay, so let's get started! Okay, so Ali, I know you have lots of questions. たくさん質問あると思うけど、一つ目の質問、the first question は何ですか？
I ask you so many times, why does it take so long to date or to get to that first kiss?
そうだね。テラスハウスでみんな待ってるね。Everybody's waiting, right?
Yeah. 5 dates and you don't know how you feel? Come on. Life short.
日本ではお互いの気持ちがまだわからないときは何も言わない。何もしない。その人のことが本当に好きって分かったら多分言うけど、普通はまだお互いの気持ちがわからないときは何もしない。で、例えば、初めてのデートで誰かが、キスしたら、私にキスしたら、ちょっとチャラい means playboy. There's, actually an adjective for that.
Yeah. See, Japanese people say playboy. In England, America too, they say fuckboy.
Fuckboy!
Yeah. And it's like a really derogatory term. Well, accurate, but it's like, don't date that guy. It's a fuckboy.
だから、早すぎたら、日本人はちょっとそう思う。Like, this person is very used to doing the thing. Or, this person is doing this to anyone.
Yeah.
そう。だから日本人はちょっと待つ。で、日本人はよく気にする。We care too much before saying. 言う前に気にしすぎるから、例えばその人が私のことどう思ってるかわからなかったら何も言わない。That's why it's so slow. In England, how is it? Like, is it on the first? You said that on the first day, some people kiss, right?
Yeah.
それは普通? Is it normal?
The kiss?
The kiss on the first date.
If you've been flirting throughout the date and there's maybe like you're looking at each other like, hey, the whole date, maybe at the end there's a kiss. Not guaranteed, but it's a good signal that there's going to be a second date or that you're into each other romantically.
Okay.
But here, definitely not, right?
Not.
Yeah.
No.
Like, even if on the first date there's good chemistry, good everything, still just don't
do anything. Like, don't.
Yeah.
Maybe 手をつなぐ? Do you hold hand? 手をつなぐ?
At the end of the date? How?
like during the date. デートしてるときに、
That's sweet. That's
あ
sweet.
の
That's cute.
まあでもそれも、あまりないかな。
Mm.
結構レア。rare. We say rare.
Yeah.
レア。そう、だから、
Hmm.
初めてのデートは何もしない。
But they never hold hands in Tara's house.
Maybe, yeah, that's true. Maybe because 一緒に住んでるから、
うん
ちょっと気まずくなる。It's gonna become kind of awkward.
Yeah. Yep.
So, I think Japanese people take so much more time
うん
before doing anything. そう、だから、私的にテラスハウスを見てて、そのスピードは普通。So the speed is normal.
うん
私的に。でも多分、外国人にとって、なんで何も言わないのっていう感じでしょ You're like,
Yeah.
they don't say anything.
Yeah, nothing. But even when the girls talk to each other, like 5 dates, I'm like, I'm not sure if I like him just as a friend or romantically. It's like, that's not obvious from the first date? For us, that's if you're not interested romantically from the first date, that's not going to change.
Really?
For us, that's what we think.
Okay.
But is it different for you guys?
It's kind of different for us. Like, even if I don't see him, see the person as a guy or as like romantically, 時々変わる。
Has that happened to you?
うん。
How? Like, why did you see that person as a friend, and then what changed to become romantic? If this is not too personal.
Oh, it's
It's
okay.
definitely too personal. I'm
It's
so sorry.
It's not too personal, but 例えば友達として遊んで、なんか時々、あ、この人のこの性格、personality は、あ、かっこいいって、いきなり急に変わることもある。そう。But it's rare. It's rare. でも、性格をめっちゃ、見る。We see personality more. Of course, like we get attracted, you know, by their appearance. でも、性格をよく知らないと、好きか、合うか合わないか、like whether we fit or not is more important.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
That's the rational way
that's
of
irrational,
doing it. Yeah.
right? But
We are very irrational when we date. We're like chaos, I think. I think that's the way we date. Chaos.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
You guys think about it a lot.
So, and then also we think too much about the other person's feeling とか、what they are thinking. 考えてることとか、その人の気持ちを考えすぎる、like too much. So that makes us not able to act on it, you know? Maybe they don't like me. Maybe like rejection is
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Japanese people are very like shy, you know?
Uh-huh.
And then we don't really reject people so much, you know, in life. For example, like we don't say no to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
other
yeah.
person, right?
Yeah.
We don't say like no, I'm not interested in you. We say like めっちゃなんか尊敬するし、めっちゃ素敵だと思うけ
Yeah,
ど、
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So it's very awkward for us to talk about our feeling. So in the first place, we don't express our feeling. あまり気持ちを言わないから、そのデートでも恋愛でも同じ。
Yeah.
そうだね。わかる？
Definitely. I think it's good to tell Western guys, especially, about that. Because, for example, I had a friend who he would always complain about, like, oh, this girl is giving me mixed signals. Like, I ask her out and she's like, oh, maybe tomorrow, maybe at the weekend, maybe I'm busy. So he's like, but she doesn't tell me no, so maybe she wants to go out with me? I don't know. It's like, dude, read between the lines.
そう、日本人は行かないとか、嫌とか言わない。多分また今度、また、ちょっと今忙しいとか、仕事がある、用事がある。 また今度って言うだけ。でもそれは多分3回また今度って言われたら、you have to read between the lines.
Yeah.
空気読まないといけない。多分この人は私に興味ないって思う。So we don't say no. So that's the reason why we are so slow. Like, think too much and also without knowing the other person's feeling, we don't act on it. そこはちょっと違うと思う。
Yeah.
Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely. Have you ever been on a date with an American, Australian, English guy before?
Yes.
On the first date, did he try and kiss you?
Yes.
What did he do? So, all the time in Terrace House, they translate this one sentence as, I'm curious about blah, blah, blah.
Oh.
Are they always saying, I'm curious about? Because it doesn't sound too romantic or anything. It
In
doesn't-
English? In
Yeah.
English.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So, you know, 日本語で I like you, I love you、同じ言葉好きっていうね。I like you, I love you also. We say 好き。
Both?
Yes.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Okay. we have it like words translated as in I love you, which is 愛してる。愛してるはめっちゃ重い。very heavy, very serious.
Yeah.
And 私たち使わないね。そう。好きはもう like I'm into the person という意味。
好き。
好き。into the person とか I like and also I love is 好き。So まだ気持ちがわからないときは好きって言わない。So just stop with I'm curious about this person. I'm interested in that person. So we say 気になってる。So I'm interested in Ken. 例えば。We say Ken のことが気になってる。
When would kininateru change to 好き?
When you're sure. Like もう気持ちがわかるとき。
I get it. Okay.
Yeah, but 気になってる、日本人は自分の気持ちあまり出さない。自分の気持ちとか思ってることをあまり言わないから、まだわからないときは、just 気になってる。あ、この人、as a woman とか as a guy、気になってる。I'm interested. そう、だから、あまりわからないときは好きって言わない。Because 好き is a little bit heavier than I like the person in English.
Yeah.
Because 好き means something more than I like you in English.
Okay. Well, it would. Yeah, but see, we have levels of like, so it's just like oh, I like you, which is like a flirty. There's that gray area between we're friends and hey, let's kiss maybe. That flirty feeling. But then before you say I love you, yeah, it might be like, wow, I really like you.
Okay, okay. でもその初めの I like you と好きは多分ここ。好き I like you is here. And in Japanese 好き
But which I like you? The flirty one or the
The flirty one is here.
So, okay.
Okay.
Okay, I think I'm with you. Yeah. Okay.
So, this I like you はあまり言わない日本人。I like you means I really want to have something with you. That kind of feeling.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, だから日本人はあまり好きちょっと好きな時は気になってるとか好きかも。Like,
好きかも?
そう。その人に好きかもって言わないけど、例えば友達と話すときは I might like Ken. まだわからないね。I might like Ken. In this case, I say, あ、Ken のことが好きかも。But we want to make it ambiguous.
Oh,
No.
so it's like if we added a kind of like
そう
blah,
そ
blah,
う
blah.
そう。
A kind of like blah blah blah.
That's what
Blah,
we
blah, blah.
would say. 好きかも。
好きかも.
好きかもと気になってる。 So,
Mm.
before you are not sure. まだわからないときは気になってると、好きかもケンのこと好きかもとか、好きになった
Mhm.
かも。I might have
Oh my
crush on
God.
that person.
Yeah.
でも好きは結構強い。Like strong, very strong.
Okay.
So that's why they say, I'm curious all the time in the class house.
That makes much more sense. Yeah.
うん
That's
So,
much more easily
え
translated.
イギリスだったら、I'm curious とか I'm interested あまり言わない
Would say I'm interested in this person
Mhm.
or I'm into this person.
Okay.
I've got a thing for this person.
Okay.
Crush is like for kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
本当
or it's like very cute. It's like maybe, I don't know, in an office. Like, oh, Miku has a crush.
Okay, okay. Like
You know?
jokey way.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah. But, like, oh, do you like anyone? I'm kind of... So the kind of is the camel.
そ
Okay, I'm kind of into this person.
う。Okay, okay. So that's in Japanese 気になってるとか、好きかも or 好きになったかも。
Okay.
でも we don't say I like this person without knowing our feeling for sure. We mislead someone.
Yeah.
Like even our friends mislead someone because suki is very big. We don't wanna like mislead.
Yeah, of
That's
course.
why
Yeah.
we don't say suki so much.
Okay, question.
Okay.
Do you remember your first crush? Like in school? How did you tell your first crush about your feelings?
おー、バレンタインデーの日。
So cute. Did you write it? What did you say?
好きですって書いた。
So cute. How old were you?
6歳。そう、好
Cute this.
きですって。日本でバレンタインデーに女の子が男の子にチョコレートをあげる。
Right.
チョコレートと
Mm.
告白する。We confess our love. Not the
Right.
guys. So on the Valentine's Day, バレンタインデーの日に女の子が手紙書いて、チョコレート作って、その人の学校の靴箱 is shoebox. 靴箱に入れる。
They're cubby.
そう
The shoe, but we call it a cubby
カビ。Okay.
in school
So-
or in an office. Yeah, cubby or pigeonhole.
ピージの方
Yeah, for pigeons.
入れて、
Yeah.
それで告白する。私は6歳の時に
Mm,
初めて手紙書
I
いて、
wish I could have seen that. I hope that kid still has that letter. It'd be so cute.
そう。
If by any chance, if you're that kid, what was his name?
なんだっけゆうた。
Yuta, if you're watching, please tell us that you still have that letter. We all want to see it.
ピュアだった。ピュアだった。I was pure.
Did he return your love?
うん。そう、日本でバレンタインデーに女の子が告白して、
Yeah.
There is a day called ホワイトデー。
うん
ホワイトデーは3月14日。
うん
そう、1ヶ月後にホワイトデーっていう日があって、その日は男の子が女の子に返事する、like, respond or reply.
Okay.
で、
That's a long time.
It's a long time to wait.
Yeah.
You know, so もう、例えば高校生とか、大人だったら、after Valentine's Day, we respond, you know, very quickly.
Yeah.
でも、子供だから、we wait, you know? So like, I don't know what Yuta is thinking about me for 1 month.
For a month?
For a month. I have to think about that, you know? And
You're
then it's
6
all-
years old, Yuta. Make up your mind.
そう、だから、
Life's not that
6
complicated.
歳の時に初めて告白した。
So
めっち
cute.
ゃ恥ずかしいな、今。
So you just said kokuhakusuru. So can you explain this whole confession thing?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
日本では好きな人がいたら、その人と付き合いたかったら告白して好きです。付き合ってくださいって言うの。付き合ってくださいは basically means please go out with me. き合う is to go out.
Yeah.
So, 日本では、彼女、彼氏になるのは、その告白してから。After we confess our love, we become couple. でも、多分、外国では違うと思う。Like, in other countries, it's different.
Yeah, often we don't even... So now it's becoming a lot less common to even... What we call, not confession, but to have the talk.
Ah, okay.
Or to... What they might say is like, oh, we need to talk. So, what are we?
Ah.
That's what we do.
Okay, okay.
Sometimes.
でもそれは、キスとか、セックスとかした後。After that, right?
Could be. It completely depends on the couple. Completely depends on the feelings. It could be before. It could be after. Everyone does it differently. But, I mean, I live in London and it's 2020. Usually it's after. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, okay. 日本で告白してから
Yeah.
カップルになるね。
Yeah.
でもまあ、キスとかセックスはその前にする人もいるけど、わからないけど、人による、今付き合ってる？付き合ってない？この曖昧なグレイエリア、right?
Yeah.
We call it gray zone. グレイゾーンはない。日本では付き合うために please go out with me って言わないといけない。付き合ってくださいって言わないといけない。ないな。That's, we have a talk, right?
Yeah.
That in England.
Right. You know what? In England, it's more unsaid. It's more there are certain things, certain criteria. If you tick certain boxes, you're a couple. That you don't need to talk about it. For example, if you're dating someone or you seeing someone and you both know that weekend you're going to be together, you don't have to ask each other. You know that at the weekend you're hanging out and you're staying at each other's house, whatever. You're a couple. You don't need to have the talk.
So there are times that you don't have to have a talk to become a couple. So it's like more natural. Oh yeah, we are a couple. Like we don't know.
Yeah. My ex was like that.
そうなの？日本だったら、ちょっと、わからなくなる。We will get confused in that situation. Like, 何今？付き合ってる？付き合ってない？
Yeah.
一緒？友達？
Yeah.
わからない。カップル？友達？わからない。
Yeah. I think for us it's less the physical things like the kiss or the sex. It's more the time you spend together. It's more like, oh, are we, like, we're going to be together at the weekend? Oh, of course we're a couple then.
そうなんだ。だから、多分外国人、日本人の女の子と付き合いたかったら、付き合ってくださいって言わないといけないよ、みんな。like,
yeah, be careful.
be careful.
Yeah.
So without that, we get confused.
Right, but that could, yeah. So maybe it seems to Japanese people that for a Western person, it might seem like we're leading on Japanese people when we date then. Interesting. Definitely be careful.
Definitely be careful.
Yeah.
Japanese girl will be like, 何これ? Is he playing? Is he like just playing?
Yeah.
Playing me?
Playing me?
Playing me?
Yeah.
だから、もしその人と付き合いたかったら、付き合ってくださいって言ってね、みんな。Yeah. Please. So, I say we don't say I love you, right? 愛してる。でも、日本語で I love you って言いたいときは、好きっていう。So, 好き is translated as I like you in English, right? But in Japanese, 好き can be I love you as well. Because we never say I love you, you know? We never say 愛してる.
Because you don't feel love?
We
don't.
We do. We have a heart. We have
don't.
heart.
Oh, yeah. See, we're different in Britain. We don't have hearts. Emotions.
そっか。ちょっとね、like ice みたい。
Yeah. That's quite the compliment. Thank you. We just have nothing. I'm kidding. We're very loving people.
日本であまり 愛してるって言わないから、
Wait, when would I say 愛してる?
never.
In real life, never.
Maybe if someone is dying.
Oh.
Or 例えば結婚するときとか。When you propose someone. プロポーズするときとか。
Okay.
多分その時は使うけど、普通は使わない。
Mm.
Really like special occasion.
Mm-hmm.
But like there are people who don't say I love you, 愛してる their entire life. So,
Okay.
so 好き is I like you. And some people think 大好き
Yeah.
means I love you.
Yeah.
大好き is like, you know, literally 大 is 大きいね。漢字大きい。
Yeah.
大好き So I like you so much.
Yeah.
It's more like I like you so much. And 大好きあまり告白するとき使わない大好きは友達と使う。Like, I love you, Ali みたいな。
Okay, when you get drunk with your friends
Yeah.
and you're like, oh my god, what do you say? Daisuki or
大好き。
大好き right?
うん。
Okay, right. So, yeah.
大好きはカジュアルに友達に言う。でも、告白するときは、
Mm.
ミクのこと大好きってあまり言わない。ミクのこと好きっていう。
If you're going on a trip
Yeah.
away from your boyfriend for a week, what would you say as the bye?
As a bye?
Yeah. Because we would be like, bye, love you, see you in a week, for example. So, what would your love you be in that situation?
またねーだけ。
Really?
そこで好きだよーとか言わない。
Wow, okay.
You say またねー。じゃあまた。
Okay, if we take it out of the romantic, then what about for your family? Like for your parents,
おー。
you're not going to see them in a while.
めっちゃいい質問。例えば、お母さんには大好きっていう。
Right, yeah.
お父さんに大好きって言ったことない。
Oh, so only to your mom, not to your dad.
うん。
Interesting. Okay.
なんか日本人はあまりその家族とか友達にも大好きとか I love you とかあまり言わない。
Okay, can we do a thing? Can we play a game?
Okay.
So, I see you in a bar, and I'm like, I want to talk to you. I want to eventually date you. What would I say to you?
LINE 教えて。Tell me your LINE account. OK。だから、日本人が気持ちを伝えるときは、本当に好きって分かってから。そう。だからまだ分からないときは、あまり言わない方がいい。早く言わない方がいい。
Mm.
でもその代わり、行動で見せる。行動 is action ね。だから例えば、たくさん誘ったり、たくさんメッセージしたり、たくさん電話したりして、行動で見せる。でもあまり好きって早く言わない。
Yeah.
We show with action, but not the word, right?
That makes sense.
そう。だから日本人あまり、その恋愛もそうだけど、普通に自分の気持ちあまり言わないから、それはイギリスとちょっと違う。英語と日本語とちょっと違う。そう。でも、次のビデオでもっと自然に気持ちを伝える方法、伝えるためのフレーズを次のビデオでみんなに教えます。はい。Naturally and without being awkward ね。You can express your feeling to your Japanese people, so I do that a lot, right? And please let us know what's the dating like in your country.
Yeah, I'm sure plenty of people will agree or disagree with things I've just said, so...
Yeah, and even
Yeah.
if you're Japanese, please let me know. Maybe I'm not, Japanese anymore. I don't. はい、教えてください。じゃあまたね。
I didn't understand what Futsuwashina means. So I didn't know how to react, I'm sorry. What is Futsuwashina? Usually I don't do it.
Yeah.
Got it, okay. Got it.
Your face went.
Like, I'll figure that one out later.